Braddock Avenue. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This is the Edgar Thompson plant, the Mon Valley Works. It is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the last steel mill here in the along the Monongahela outside of Pittsburgh. Still making the steel, and needless to say, the last 40 years has not been kind to Braddock Avenue, nor to Braddock. But I must say, as I came down here to pay condolences, if you will, maybe, to the ET plant, ironically called perhaps by the guys, I was struck by the growth, or the seedlings that seem to be sprouting here. No, not steel, but development nonetheless. And I was taken by it, and curious. This seems to me, all I could think of in a way is Roosevelt Row in Phoenix. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, but kind of like an old place, old ways that are discovering new ways, the old ways and the new ways. And it seems like there's a mix here now of the old and the new. Okay, there seems to be a lot of art. Artists seem to be moving in to the area here. I assume the housing here is extremely cheap. So I think a lot of artists are taking advantage of space here and using the space here. Back there in the corner you have, it seems like a bar or something is about to open up there. There's an application for liquor license. Okay, on the other side of the building now is, it seems to be, in the front of the building, it seems to be a more formal place than in the back. Okay, in the back there seems to be a patio, and this place seems more formal. I don't know if you can see through the glare there, but it's much more formal, kind of a fine dining and drinking establishment. I don't know if this is open or not, but it sure looks nice. And the location, well, couldn't have picked a more fitting location to take friends from out of town who may be visiting Pittsburgh, and take them here. So this dining establishment. Okay, so you have the new with the old. Okay, further down Braddock Avenue now, I was struck by this church, and it was like I saw it, and I said, "Oh, that's St. Thomas." I remember St. Thomas in the 1980s. that was St. Thomas. You had the church, and then you had the, I think it was a high school, or middle school. No, it probably was a middle school. Okay, so it was like, oh, St. Thomas. And no, I was wrong, but I was also right. At one time, it was St. Thomas, okay? But from what I read about this church and, well, primarily about the church, not so much the school, is that this church has gone through a lot of incantations. It was St. Michael's, it was St. Thomas, and it was run by Irish and different nationalities, named it different parishes. Right now, it is the Good Shepherd Catholic Parish. All right, and the school, what used to be the school, is now the parish center. Okay, this church goes way back in time, as old as the mills itself. Okay, but what's interesting, as we look at what's right across from the old middle school parking lot, and I really think they kept the same statues here. The statues look familiar here. Okay. There you see the cornerstone for the school. I don't know if you can make it out. 1962. Okay, 1962. About baby boomer. About baby boomer time. And across the street from the old middle school is, talk about something new. It's a farm. Who would ever think to put a farm, working farm here, in the middle of an industrial area? Okay? And it's not only ET that's working there. You also got a company called Lynn right behind the farm here, which I believe manufactures refrigerants, if I'm correct. But look at this. Isn't this cool? I mean, you got like urban and rural 2 blocks from one another. Not even that. Look at that. Is that a study in contrast or what? And by the looks of it, this farm seems to be doing quite well. Is that cool? Look at that. Braddock Farms. Okay. Made in Braddock, PA. Is that ingenious? Is that creative thinking or what? This is what I mean by new here along Braddock. That seems to I don't know, with the old, you know? Now, still further down the road from Braddock Farms is Steel City Soils Co-op, wood chips, or wanted. Okay. And you have different soils. Okay. industry and nature. Alright. Don't forget to feed the chickens and the hens. Okay. Is that great? And finally, you have kind of a, I believe this is nesting when these wires, these coils here, which are industry, okay, if you will, are kind of rolled together like this. I think it's an attempt at housing for birds or something like that. I don't know, maybe a viewer could correct me, but I think it's, you roll them together and birds can make nests out of them or something like that. I don't know the specifics. Anyways, finally, to wrap this up, along old industrial Braddock Avenue, people of the farm did not forget the children, because they have their own youth garden here. Okay, and there you go. They are not ignored. Okay, they have their youth garden. Okay, the Braddock Library is just a little further down the road from here. Okay, and in case you're wondering, if you want to sample free food for most of you. Okay, pretty cool. Changes along Braddock Avenue as the old meets the new.